跟和分，中央人民政府今天成立了。
但是你们难道
刚才也问我啊，我可以回半点去，无可奉告。我也不高兴。
哎，什么叫中国共产党啊？党叫干啥就干啥。
黑夜即将到，一定要做好准备。
是。
干死共产党！干死共产党！不干死共产党，绝不罢休！
消灭中共是正义的需要。
Hi, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Exposing the CCP program again, and glad to see you, and especially our dear friends, Mr. 007 True, and also Chris.
Hello, everyone. Good to be on the show again. Thank you.
Hi, Z. Hi, Mr. True 007. I'm happy to be on the show again today. Thank you.
All right. I'm sorry, I might have a little problem with my voice. Caught a cold, so I just want to let the audiences know. Please be careful. You know, the flu or the virus is still around us. Take care of yourself and also the families. The health is the number one important thing. And today we're going to discuss some really exciting and interesting news. You know, they're probably not so much coverage, but in the mainland China, all the gossips is everywhere, because the I don't know how to translate. I think it's called vice chairman of the PLA committee, which is the second position next to dictator Xi, was arrested. And there are a lot of things going on, and this could be a very significant milestone for taking down the CCP, and we're going to discuss about that. So let's first watch a video, and we'll share more information from an FSC perspective. Thank you.
This may be one of the biggest political earthquakes in the history of the Chinese Communist Party. On January 24th, Xi Jinping announced the arrest of two of China's top military leaders, General Zhang Youxia, a Politburo member and vice chairman of the Central Military Commission, and General Liu Zhenli, a CMC member and chief of the Joint Staff Department. This is not an ordinary purge. This is Xi Jinping turning on the very core of his own power. According to NFSC, Zhang Youxia was not just a general. He ranked second among the people Xi trusted most, second only to Xi's own family. Their bond went back generations. Their fathers fought side by side since the 1940s. And now he is gone. This event could reshape China's political landscape and have far-reaching consequences for the global order. We are monitoring the situation. Stay tuned.
Okay, so it sounds like a just piece of information, but it's actually quite significant considering the dictator regime of the communist China. It's a absolutely completely different of kind of a regime from the Western democracy system. The military commission actually has a superpower because the CCP have taken over their sovereign from Kuomintang, like using the military. They believe the gun and the power is these something is the number one power to maintain their dictatorship. So the military actually is very important to them, to the CCP, the Chinese Communist Party, and they're here to have a central military commission that have people who have also dictators or decisions over some critical decisions of the party. And the vice chairman Zhang Youxia is actually the second most important person in that system next to Xi. So his arrest actually means a lot. So let's start with Chris again. You probably have a lot to share, Chris. I'll give the time to you now.
Okay, thank you. So Zhang Youxia was not arrested because of the corruptions, but because he betrayed the CCP and defected to the side of United States. Having substantial contact and cooperation with the US intelligence system, Xi Jinping does not want to become the next Maduro. Otherwise, it cannot explain why Zhang Youxia was arrested. Zhang Youxia's relationship with Xi Jinping, his father and Xi Jinping's father were comrades who fought together on the battlefield. Zhang Youxia and Xi Jinping have known each other since childhood. They play together until they grow up. Zhang Youxia is Xi Jinping's choice in the military to control the PLA. He is the only high-level officials in the PLA now, which with actual combat experience, rose from a soldier all the way up, participate in the Vietnam War. For all matters related to the military, Xi Jinping would ask Zhang Youxia's opinion. Zhang Youxia also really understands military affairs. He knows that the PLA cannot take down Taiwan. The PLA's actual capabilities are not as good as the US military. So Xi Jinping wants to advance the agenda of taking down Taiwan, but cannot succeed. Also, because Zhang Youxia has great influence in the CCP, he has many party followers, old cadres in the military, second generation of top CCP members, and the Tuan faction. So Xi Jinping adopted a surprise attack approach, mobilizing special forces directly under Xi Jinping to carry out the mission. Zhang Youxia's arrest represents that Xi Jinping cannot listen to the truth. It also represents that even the people Xi Jinping trusted the most are not safe, proving that the CCP's military morale and party morale have already collapsed. Plus, the public unrest brought by the bad economy, the CCP has entered a state of full fear and mutual suspicion. The CCP now is just the difference between dying quickly or dying slowly. If Zhang Youxia hadn't been arrested, then Xi Jinping would be like Maduro, betrayed by people around him to the United States. At that time, the Xi family faction would directly collapse. Zhang Youxia would be the hero of destroying the CCP. Although Zhang Youxia has been arrested now, but the game is not over yet. However, it has led the CCP into the historical most weak, most panicked, most out of control moment. So Zhang Youxia has contributed to the destruction of the CCP. Xi Jinping says he can live to 150 years old, but in his actions, he is very anxious. He wants to take down Taiwan as soon as possible. But the army under Zhang Youxia's command gave an answer that does not meet Xi Jinping's expectations, which is that the PLA cannot take down Taiwan. At the beginning of 2026, Maduro arrest incident, the uprising revolution of the Iranian people, the United States withdrew from World Health Organization, the World Economic Forum agenda being reversed, or deepened Xi Jinping's fear of being overthrown and collapsing. So Xi Jinping can only act quickly, and therefore it installed accelerated the strategy of taking down the CCP by the CCP and taking down the CCP by the USA. Now the CCP's economy is in trouble. The military is in trouble. CCP's propaganda machine will also be affected accordingly. Using kinetic war to take down Taiwan becomes even more impossible to achieve. No money to fight a war, no fuel to fight a war, no soldier to fight a war. And the CCP is facing three major crises: military immunity, political coup, popular uprising. The whole world is just waiting for the key moment of the CCP's collapse. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Sorry, thank you very much, Chris, for all these things. It's very important. I think this is a great piece of news, especially to the U.S. intelligence. I think the most important thing is, the Taiwan is safe, but don't take it for granted that we don't need to do anything to take it down. So they still have some resiliences, and the best action right now is hopefully the U.S. government is going to take more actions to start a rebellion from the inside and completely separate all these powers from the CCP internally. And the Zhang Youxia and also Xi's struggle is a great example. The CCP is not just one piece; it's also a paper tiger, and it can be destroyed just like Venezuela a few weeks ago. So. And hopefully we're gonna see that very, very soon. Okay, now go to Mr. Chu, please.
Thank you, Chris and Z, for the great information. I think this is a huge, big thing for the survival of the CCP. So in Zhang Youxia's case, it's basically why Zhang Youxia was removed. It's really not corruption. According to Mao Squad, the Zhang Youxia handles the military budget of 2 or 3 trillion RMB, which is about 15 to 20% of the GDP. So really, it's not for that. And the key thesis is that Zhang Youxia was not arrested for corruption, for women. And he was removed because he represented a strategic truth. It's, inside an increasingly fear-driven CCP system. I mean, this is like the collapse of Soviet Union. Okay, so and the public corruption investigation was not completed. Normally, when Xi Jinping arrests some of his other generals, that's usually done, and no staged disciplinary process. So that's a part of the protocol of what the top officials should be arrested before they get really published to say they are gone. And also the surprise removal of using Xi-controlled forces instead of military. So it's like use the KGB to arrest Putin. Okay, indicate a political security decision, not a legal enforcement. When we talk about legal enforcement, really in a dictatorship system, there isn't any free trial or anything like that. So we don't really expect, but they still need to put a show to show the people, here you go, we're doing away with the protocol. Okay. What is Zhang Youxia important is his unique position. We know he's a red second generation elite, the only PLA senior leaders with real combat experiences. Okay, as Chris mentioned, basically in Vietnam War, because I remember in Vietnam War I was in high school, and the war, it's basically fought for Deng Xiaoping's survival in the military, and so many young soldiers died for nothing. And Zhang Youxia was said to be a low-ranking command. Okay, and there he probably, because his father, he probably get very well protected in the chateau somewhere. So I doubt that they really have really fighting on that. So although media say he's the only one who had experience, but not in the big experience like World War II. Okay, so it is a show of experiences, also for political reason, not really a true fight. And also it rise from the soldiers to the top commander. I mean, that's because he's trusted. His father was, in a by shoulder with Xi Jinping's father. Also, deep credibility across military fictions. Of course, I mean, he's out of all the red second generation, he would be an outstanding one. So what is real relationship? As we just mentioned, father fighted the battlefield together as commander. Okay, personal relationship since childhood, and also she relied on Zhang for real military judgment, always, all the way along. And Zhang was Xi's chosen controller for the PLA. This what make it so significant. Okay, so what is the Taiwan reality? We know that Xi Jinping always want to take down Taiwan. Okay, and but Zhang Youxia's assessment is the PLA, People's Liberation Army, cannot really decisively defeat Taiwan. And PLA is not equipped to U.S. military power. There's no doubt. This is Maduro's arrest already showing how mighty the U.S. forces. It can override Russia and Chinese military capability. No questions. I mean, this is just thrilled. So a Taiwan war risk, okay, maybe a catastrophic failure. This is what Zhang Youxia's side. So this assessment may block Xi's war agenda. You know why? Because in the second generation of Red, they enjoy the power, the wealth, and the respect. It's basically the second man into Xi. So everyone in the communist system would see him as a second god of China. But in that case, so why fight? I mean, you fight, you could get pinpointed and take down, and your life is finished. So this is really a surviving instinct that made he doesn't really want to fight. Okay, and with the Taiwan War, and they have his life gone. But really, it's basically based on assessment of his professional judgment by comparing of the reality between the forces of CCP and the United States. So I think a lot of that can be done. So the meaning of Zhang's removal, what really it is the elimination of professional military troops. It's collapse of internal trust and the militarization without the reality checks. Loyalty replace competence. So in conclusion, what I have said is the CCP, whether they can fight Taiwan or not fight Taiwan with Zhang Youxia's removal, the number is finished. I think the number is the time they can exist in China. I think according to many news, I think maybe before the Chinese New Year, which we only have about 3 weeks. So let's hopefully that the CCP will be taken down by the people inside China. I think within couple 1 week, if there is no further news made uniformly in Chinese media with the PLA's media or the party's media of CCP or government, if no one is certain, and then we don't know whether Zhang Youxia still, he has so deeply rooted in the military. Maybe the 5 different factions of the military can start to have a revolution and then take the party away. Then that will be the end of the CCP. Thank you. Back to you, Z.
Thank you so much, both of you, for elaborating this. And it's really, really, like I said, a very striking news, and also a great news for taking down the Chinese Communist Party. As Miles Guo has warned, the CCP is not a strong piece. We cannot imagine the CCP system like the Western democracy. There are a lot of coup, a lot of internal struggles and purge going on. Just kind of like the Soviet Union back during the World War II. It looks like they have very strong Red Army. They can conquer everything. But once the internal purge started, and all the military senior leaders who lost their hope, they were very scared. If there is a chance that they can take it down, it's going to start internal, and hopefully with the aid of the U.S. And the U.S. cannot say, "Oh, we don't want to do it. We should not interfere with the CCP's internal affairs," something like that. That will probably lose the great opportunity to take down the CCP now. So hopefully we're gonna continue to report this, and there are gonna be a big change in 2026, and we are looking forward to that, the day that the CCP will collapse. Okay, so I think that's good. We still have a couple of minutes. Maybe Chris and Mr. True, you can share a few more thoughts, and we can conclude. And let's from Chris again.
Okay, so the United States is open to accepting defections. For the PLA army, going to the battlefield to fight Taiwan means death. PLA officers not fighting Taiwan will also be killed by Xi Jinping. So directly defect to the United States, take down Xi Jinping, and carve out a way to survive, become the hero of taking down the CCP. Thank you.
Absolutely, I agree with you, Chris, what you said. So basically, CCP faces 3 system crises. The CCP now faces military instability, because there are 5 different faction groups of command system which are not listen to Xi, not respond to Xi's call. Also political infighting, okay, and social unrest. People just had enough. The housing price have gone less than half now. Unemployment rocking high, and also further we hear that the CCP viruses from the further strain of virus come out, and hospital are really out of seats to bedsides to hosting. So people are suffering. I mean, I just had a phone call with a friend, dear friend from China. He told me that he went back to his county. They were about 0.6 million population 2 years ago. Now the published official figure is only 0.4 million. So, well, they're like 1/3 of people gone. Where are they? He said, "I'm now walking on the street, right in the back. There's hardly anyone." And of course, when 1/3 of people gone, of course there's hardly anyone. So this is the biggest problem. So therefore, the war capabilities is structurally weakened. The CCP really unable to fight. So basically, I want to say that the CCP is no longer choosing between reform or control. It is choosing between fast collapse or slow death. Removing Zhang Youxia accelerate the internal decay, and not the regime's stability. So under a world situation that the world is awakened and the US is really climb the sovereign national state against any dictatorship government. We see in Maduro's case, okay, and Cuba is also surrendered with the new and other South African countries as well. But with especially Iran now is getting very hot. We know that it was determined by Israel and the United States together must remove the dictatorship. I mean, especially after the top guy threatened on to assassination to President Trump. So that's a global position where CCP is facing, and inside China, people are just no longer really responding even in social media to say, well, she is great and we should follow him. No response. So dictatorship, only a few of them is totally detached from the society, the people, and the military. So let's see CCP will be taken down very soon by inside the military system and with the people gone straight protest together, and then that will be the end of CCP. Thank you.
Thank you very much, both of you, for spreading this information and share with us. That is so critical, and hopefully our audiences can keep spreading this truth. Let other people know we have to take down the CCP, and they're not really that strong. We can take them down, and the more information we have, and the more collective voice that we can have from all the people around the world, and the quicker I think we can take down the CCP and also other dictator threats in the world, including Iran, Venezuela, maybe even North Korea, everything. So we're going to see a great year coming, and let's keep doing that. Keep fighting until CCP is taken down. Thank you. See you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take down the CCP.
Take down CCP. Thank you.
The night has come this far, not because it chose to leave, but because it was never meant to stand. Darkness may appear powerful, yet it exists only where light has not arrived. And when the first ray of dawn emerges, its retreat becomes inevitable. This is not coincidence, not fortune, but direction itself, finally revealed. Justice never disappears. It moves forward step by step, gathering strength in silence, finding its footing in the final second before dawn. Today, what we welcome is not a miracle, but a morning that was always destined to arrive. In the new year, the dawn is already ahead of us.